You are now listening to the Highly Evolved Podcast. You can find this channel on Twitter, Gab.ai, BitChute, and Minds.com. This is a Real American Patriot channel for Real American Patriots. If you're not a Real American Patriot, please exit the channel. Furthermore, we are not sponsored by any outside interference. That means we're unscripted, unrehearsed, and unedited. With that being said, transmission will commence momentarily.
How you guys doing? Welcome to the Highly Evolved Podcast. I'm your host, Safan. You can follow me on Minds.com, BitChute, Twitter, Gab.com. Most importantly, like, share, subscribe on YouTube because we're writing this until the wheel fall off. On that note, guys, I want to share you what's in this article. It's a recent Gallup post showing that it's an article from Breitbart. I'll leave a link in the description, but let me post this up for you guys so you guys can see this, all right? It's startling to see how millennials have been brainwashed through institutions, through modern day media. All right, millennials are at this point are even brainwashed than boomers. Most boomers. All right, they're not all boomers, but most boomers. But let me show this article. A Gallup poll just came out of nowhere. All right, statistics. There you go. Breitbart News. Gallup poll. 2/3 of college graduate, indoctrinated college graduate, brainwashed college graduate, liberals, Marxists, college graduate victims welcome cheap labor from migrants. All right, let's read this article. 2/3 of wealthy college graduates, see, there's wealthy, say they never understand honest, hard labor. All right, these people are not, they can't identify with working class people. All right. College graduates say immigration helped the economy by providing cheap labors, according to Gallup. No, look, if you're providing cheap labors, you know what you're doing? This is what these college graduates don't understand. If they provide cheap labor, they're driving the wage down. That's the consequence of cheap labor. When labor is cheap, other people have to lower the wages to keep on check with the cheap laborers, all right? Cheap labor will lower wages. These people don't understand it. According to Gallup poll, over 64% of university graduates say immigration mostly help economic by providing low-cost labor, all right? And they don't understand that these people are working the cheap labor. That's like slave wages, so they're not helping, all right? So these people are saying, these liberals are saying, oh, we want to get rid of slave wages. We want to get raised for $50. All right, how are you supposed to do that when you're advocating cheap wages? Don't make any sense. Say in June poll data. In June, just 27% of American college graduates said immigrants are mostly hurt by economic drive wages down by many Americans. No, they're not. These people are so stupid. These college people they don't have no logic base in there. They're so brainwashed. Their cognitive dissonance will take over their logics. All right. The contrast, about 24% of high school graduate and some college respondents said that immigration hurt the economy by adding cheap labor, causing a 15-point gap. The 15-point gap result in striking because it's highlight a very different perspective between white-collar and blue-collar voters over cheap labor and migrations, all right? But the divide is ironic because younger college students increasingly suffered from the cheap labor. Of course they are. See, they're taking, oh my God. When you come to cheap wages, these people are taking your jobs, all right? Because when the people from another country, right, work for cheap labor, that's more than what they ever make in the previous country, all right? They'll take anything they could get. And where did that leave you? That leave you unemployed, you stupid college graduate. An inflow of foreign college graduate visa workers, such as H-1B, opted and L-1 visa worker, is holding down salaries for college graduates. Exactly. While also spiking their rent and mortgage payment because more people, look, when there's more populations in the city, right? You know what happened? When there's more population, housing becomes scarce. When housing becomes scarce, right, rent and cost of living will go up. That's a bad thing with cities. That's a bad thing with higher populations. The higher the population, price goes up. These people don't understand that. No matter how poor these populations are, when there's more people in the system, right, housing will go up because housing are scared. They cannot build housing fast enough with the increasing rate of populations. This is why it's so expensive. If you want housing to be cheap, you have to build a lot of houses. All right? build a lot of home, and that's why you see all these pack and stack apartments. All right, but that I don't think, in my opinion, those are not in a good way too. I don't believe in pack and stack apartment. I do not want to live in an apartment. I do not want to live in a building like that. What if a house is burned down? What if something happens? All right, your livelihood depends on your neighbor, and you don't know how dumb your neighbor could be. They might burn down their apartment, which will lead to burn down your apartment as well. All right. But let's get on. These people don't understand that more people in the city does not mean the cost of living go up. Basically, pure economics. That's what these college graduates don't understand. They don't understand basic economics. All right. When there's more people in the population and the houses are scarce, rent will go up. Pure and simple. Those housing costs are highest in mostly white neighborhoods where college graduates compete for housing. Right. Far from the chaotic diversity of immigrants imposed blue-collar Americans. And here's the Gallup statistics right here. You can look it up. The class divider appeared in several Gallup questions. For example, 53% of college graduate Americans said the economics is made better by immigration. These people are stupid. While 21% of college graduates say economics is made worse by immigration. These are people with rationality, right? 36% of the some colleges and high school groups say economy is made worse by immigration, so creating 15 points class differences. The class split appeared again when the respondents were asked about immigration levels. Prior polls have shown that few Americans knows how many migrants arrive each year, and fewer Americans recognize that federal government annually brings in the new legal immigrants plus the temporary workers for every 4 Americans who turn 18. But the Gallup poll shows that only 21% of college group want immigration reduced, while 45% plurality of the high school group want immigration reduced. 33% of college graduates want immigration boosted. These people are stupid. While only 22% of high school graduates wanted to increase. Gallup poll, however, is weakened by the absence of intensity of answers. Gallup did not release data showing the percentage of each group and strong opinion of questions. So this is impossible to tell how many each group care enough about the issues for a sharp voting behavior. Yet the class split in many aspects of the nation political dispute over wage, labor, simply diversity, and migrations. Only January, you know why, look, going back to this part, right? You know why it's split, all right, over migration, all right? You know why? Because most of our institutions are inundated with DACA, inundated with illegal immigrants, all right? You go to any university right now, right? It's inundated with these people. All right? There's nothing with these people. Of course, they would favor this. The demographic has changed. They shifted the demographic. These open border policies, this Democrat has shifted the demographic within our institution, in our colleges. All right? Do you understand? Can this get through your thick skulls, liberals? All right? You're being replaced. On January 25th, for example, the president of prestigious Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, declared that immigration is the oxygen that keeps Americans alive. No, it's not. Stop lying. Nation of Immigration pitch was made by Rafael Reef, a Venezuelan-born migrant eager more immigration. I bet you he's a socialist as well. All right. In a nation like ours, immigration is our oxygen and refusing regenerating the body of the whole. As a society, we offer migrants a gift of opportunity. No, we don't. We receive the return vital fuel of a sharp future. I trust that the wisdom will always guide it in the life of the work at MIT, and I hope it can continue to guide our nation. Look, I just want to say this. When referring to the scripture, did God just let anybody in the Garden of Eden? Huh? Did God just let anyone in the pearly gates? All right? Think about that. If open border is such a good thing, then why, when it comes to scripture, it basically say everything against anything open border like that. Garden Eden is not open border like that. All right, the heaven is not open border like that. All right, even heaven have a pearly gate. All right, even heaven have a requirement. You have to do goods in order to get to the kingdom of heaven. You just can't let anybody in. Even God understand that. All right, these people are so godless. Massachusetts immigration allowed progressive Americans to do what they want. Of course, to declare their independence from the fellow Americans, disavow the national solidarity, and preserve mutual loyalty and trust among various parts of the fractious United States. The Gallup poll shows a very different pictures of the nation immigrants push poll, often funded by business and progressive outlet. Of course, these polls sometimes are manipulated by these corporations. Some of these statistics are manipulated. You can't trust these data, right? These polls. The Nation of Immigration poll exaggerated public support for cheap labor. Exactly. Because of the pressure of ordinary Americans who say to welcome immigrants despite the United States as a country, mostly British settlers. The alternative priority of fairness poll plus the 2016 election shows that voters polling booth prefer to put most higher priorities on helping families and neighbors of fellow national and decent job of high tech, high immigration, low wage economy. Gallup poll provided good evidence and swing voters are weak supporters of immigration because very few voters think immigration delivers jobs, benefits to them and their family regardless of educational levels. Most of these supporters of immigration are immigrant themselves. That's why there's such bias. Don't you understand? Of course, if you can sample these kind of people and not sample other people, right? Of course, there's going to be some skewed data, all right? It's like saying you poll the president approval rate in all Democratic state and city. Of course, you're going to have lower approval rate for the presidents if you're going to poll only in Democratic people, all right? For example, only 19% of college graduates say immigration create jobs, right? Opportunity of themselves and their family, while 28% say migration worsen family and job outlook. Of course, among some colleges, the split similar, while merely 12% saying better, the 32% says worse. Among high school group, which include many immigrants, split of 24% for better and 33% for worse. Roughly 59% of each group, including 68% of college graduates, said immigration is not having much effect. These people are brainwashed, right, on career opportunities. People are brainwashed. This is Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris, the top Democrat sponsored a bill in which will give green card to Indian graduates if they take a job in U.S. college graduate. That's why you see all these Google have an Indian CEO. Don't you see that? GOP senators also support the bill, which would boost Wall Street stock value, cutting millennial salaries. Of course, you see all these technocracy. They're employing all these H-1B visa workers. Why do you think Twitter lawyers is an Indian woman? Why do you think Google's CEO is an Indian guy? All right, nothing against Indian, but you can see they're not giving the job to Americans. Immigration by number. Each year, roughly 4 million young Americans join the workforces after graduating from high school or university, but the federal government then import about 1.1 million legal immigrants to refreshing resident population. All right, 1.5 million white-collar worker visas, including approximately 1 million HB1 workers and approximately 500,000 blue-collar visa workers. Right? Why are you import? You can't give this to American workers? I don't understand this. All right. The governments also print more than 1 million work permits for foreigners, tolerated about 8 million illegal workers, and does not punish company of employment hundreds of thousands of dollars of illegal immigrants who sneak across the borders to overstay their visas each year, despite the rising loss of jobs and automations. Of course, the policy inflating the labor supplies, boosting economic growth for investor because it ensured the employer did not have compete for American workers and offering higher wages and better working conditions. Flooding a market as cheap foreign white-collar graduate of blue-collar labor also shifted enormous wealth of young people towards older investors, even as it also widened the wage gap, reduced high-tax investment, increasing state of local taxes burden, and hurt children's schools or college education. It also pushes Americans away from high-tech career and sideline millions of marginalized Americans, including many of who are struggling with fentanyl addiction and labor policy. Also move business investments and wealth from homeland to coastal cities, exploding rents and housing costs shrivel real estate values in the Middle East, in the Midwest, and reward investors from creating low-tech, labor-intensive workplace. And that's the end of the article. All right, this is what happened. These people are manipulated. These kids, they think immigration is a good thing. No. If anything, it's shifting jobs away from Americans, taking jobs away from Americans because of H-1B visa when there's Americans that could do the job, right? They're shifting that, and they're moving jobs away to coastal areas to higher population area. Now they're shifting jobs away from Midwest, right? These young millennials do not understand economics, all right? They don't understand how detrimental this policy being implemented are. And Kamala Harris is advocating the bill to give more workers from India more American jobs to Indian visa immigrants. She's advocating this. Now, if you aren't aware, Kamala Harris is part Indian. Kamala is an Indian name. Her middle name is Devi, is an Indian name. Harris is her father's name. And she don't even get along with her father. All right? Her family is not even American citizen. Her mom didn't born her. Her dad didn't born her. She was born here as an angry baby, then went to live in Canada. So how will she identify with real Americans? She can't identify with real Americans at all. All right, she is not the one to pick. She is the worst candidate ever. All right, she sounds like one of those mean women that yell at you for no reason. Have you ever get those women, right, that just look at you and just yell at you, right? Have you ever had one of those mean teachers in your classroom that just give you an attitude all the time and yell at you for not doing your homework, for not closing the door, for all these stupid things? Those mean teachers, I have a lot of those teachers, right? I have a lot of those black teachers in my middle school that just sound mean, period. I know it might sound racist, I'm sorry, but I'm just identifying my experiences, all right? I'm just identifying my experiences. This is what I went through when I went to public schools, right? I get a lot of mean teachers that didn't inspire me to want to learn. These teachers did not inspire. These public school teachers, they're not very inspiring. This is the type of poor education you get from your school. This is the type of poor education you get from these colleges, these liberal colleges. They're being brainwashed. They don't even know it with themselves, right? They think immigration is a good thing. It's not. I like to use the analogy of the melting pot, right? I like to use this analogy, right? When you have a melting pot, right? Or when you make like a bowl of chili, you want to make the best chili out there, best bowl of chili. You want to get the right peppers, the right tomato, the prime cut beef, right? And it's up to you whether you put bean or not, right? The best ingredient you want, right? That's a melting pot. You make with the best ingredient you have, you make the best bowl of chili. All right, now, so like you want to make a random chili, you put all these crap that doesn't supposed to be in there: chocolate, mayonnaise, mustard, right? Peanut butter, cake. And you melt that together. What do that taste like? Tastes like crap, right? I haven't tasted it. I don't know what it tastes like, but I'm sure it won't taste that good. All right. So this Gallup post shows that these college kids are being manipulated. All right. If anything, they're manipulating the data as well because they say they don't have enough data to substantiate this. And they think that migration is a good thing. Immigration is a good thing. No, it's not a good thing. If it's a good thing, then God would just let everybody in heaven. There wouldn't be no pearly gates, right? If it's a good thing, then Garden of Eden just have everybody, all right? But let me know you agree. You think these kids are brainwashed? You think college are bad news? You think it's better off to just homeschool your kids? You think it's better off to do something else than just go to college? Let me know you agree, all right? Because of what I'm saying, YouTube don't want to monetize my channel because I'm unscripted, unrehearsed, unedited, right? Because I'm saying all this stuff that they don't want you to hear, right? Because of that, I'm not taking any donations, right? Because the point of this channel is to get you to think for yourself and not to be a group thinker. You don't have to group think like I do. You don't have to agree with me, but at least think for yourself. Because group thinking will get you killed, right? Group thinking is socialism. Socialism, communism kill about what 90% of lives already. It took 90 million lives right now already. All right, that's what group thinking will get you, right? Because of that, I'm not asking for any donation. If you like what I do, please like, share, subscribe. Because when you like, share, subscribe, it encourages me to make more videos. When I'm encouraged to make more videos, I saturate YouTube algorithm. When YouTube algorithm is saturated, it make my video more expansive to a bright audience. Within those audience, one of those mind will be provoked to think for themselves. And if one of them are able to think for themselves, I achieve my mission. They don't have to think the same as me. Just don't be a group thinker. I don't know, guys. I know this time is very precious. I try not to waste your time. All right. Please like, share, subscribe. My name is Stefan. This is the Highly Evolved Podcast, and I'm signing out. Peace.